Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us today. As we let everyone trickle in and join, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Kayla. I'm here representing the Acelab team, and we have Craig from Katie. So he's going to be guiding us through today's presentation. Before we get started, I want to quickly show everyone where you can learn more about Katie Industries on Acelab. So if you should be able to see my screen, just a moment. Alrighty. So here we are on Acelab. If you're not familiar, you from the home screen, you can simply type in any manufacturer you're looking to search at that search bar at the top. In this case, we'll be taken to Katie's page. You can learn a little bit more about what they do. We've got contact information for Craig right here on the page. Few highlights as well as many of the products you'll be learning about today. You can click into any one of these to get more information, or if you'd like to save it to your firm library for future reference, you can do so right here as well. So feel free to check out their page. I will send you all a link so you can check it out, and I'll drop that in the chat. A couple other things to make note of before we get started. Today is an AIA-approved presentation. So we collected everyone's AIA numbers upon registration. If you're worried that we didn't get your AIA number, I will add a form in the chat to have you fill out and ensure that you get credit for today's session. We also have a Q&A. So towards the end of the presentation, we'll have some time for questions. So if you have any question throughout the presentation, all you have to do is drop it in that little Q&A box that's down at the bottom of your screen. So I encourage you to use that. We will also have a poll during the presentation as well as a post-webinar survey. So definitely take those when you get the chance. And I believe that's everything on my end. So Craig, I'll go ahead and pass it back to you.
Yeah, thanks so much. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. As Kayla had mentioned, my name is Craig Anderson. I am the general manager here at Katie Industries. We are very much so in the architectural space, producing fabricated metal entrance grating systems. And they also are other systems and applications as well. So we've branched out into trench covers, air grill covers, and other architectural applications as well. So the products that you're going to see here today and the products that we'll talk about during this presentation, just understand, in the Q&A, we can get into it a little bit, but just understand they can be used in other applications as well. Happy to talk through all of those applications. I am going to share my screen. We'll jump right into presentation here. Make sure. Can everybody see my screen okay?
Good on my end.
Okay. So we're going to be talking about fabricated metal entrance systems today. Okay. So there's grates, there's grills, there's rollout mats and entrance treads. The two spec sections that we're going to be talking about are 124813, which is entrance mats and frames, and then 124816, which is entrance grills and frames. So these can be fabricated in a variety of ways, custom fabricated to fit any design application. It's important to understand you have control over what that design is as an architect, and there's custom fabricators out there that can meet the needs of whatever your fabricated system is, okay, and application. So we'll talk through all of those different applications today. All right. So quick update on the purpose of this presentation. It is to learn about metal entrance grating systems, okay, and that's including grates, grills, rollout mats, and entrance treads, which provide effective solutions to meet safety, access, environmental, and aesthetic requirements in diverse applications, okay? Some of the objectives that we're going to be going through today. After completing this course, the participants that are online, thank you for joining. They're going to be able to, you should be able to understand the materials that are used to make metal grating entrance systems. You should be able to describe entrance system products available to meet traction, access, environmental, and aesthetic requirements. And you should be able to recognize how these systems are used in diverse applications. to increase public health, safety, and welfare of any of the pedestrians or patrons walking over these systems. And then you should be able to specify metal grating systems more effectively to meet project requirements and elevate the human experience when interacting with these systems. Okay. So first, let's quickly talk through the different materials that are involved in fabricating these metal entrance systems. So there's a variety of alloys. First, we'll start with stainless steel. This is a really popular product in metal entrance systems. It's one of the primary ones that are used in the marketplace. Typically, these systems can hold up to 1,000 pounds in rolling load, which is pretty useful as well from an application standpoint. But the surface wires are typically welded. There's a couple different applications as well, like press locked or mechanically fastened. There's a couple different options for stainless steel options, but this just provides a really clean appearance. This can be used in other applications other than entrance grills as well. And we'll get into that later on, but these can handle those heavier rolling load conditions. They can also be applied in pit applications within the entryways as well. We'll get into all of that as we get on here. But a pretty diverse material application, which can be finished in a variety of finishes as well. So aluminum is another really common one in fabricated metal entrance systems, okay? This one is, obviously aluminum is much lighter than stainless steel. It's really durable, provides a lot of longevity, and it's definitely available either as a bar grating or with extruded rails that can accept different types of inserts. These can be produced in several different anodized colors. You can powder coat this. You can essentially custom tailor the design of these systems to meet the specific design requirements. There's other things that you can do, including with the carpet inserts. You can put logos over the carpet inserts as well. There's other applications like that, just to be able to custom tailor the system to your needs. Then you get into other architectural metals. Essentially, the world starts to become your oyster there. If a manufacturer can source an alloy, we will happily do that. And this example here is architectural bronze. So typical applications of the bronze material are C385 alloy. And then this gives the unique aesthetic of being bronze. You can also chemically patina this to a different shade as well. These materials are extruded. They look great. They're really functional. Tremendous applications in the marketplace. These can be used for other applications other than entrance grills as well. So just a diverse product, really versatile, and it's a great looking application as well. So let's get into talking about some of the different products that are involved in metal entrance systems. So the different product types, you definitely have your grates and grills. Those are the ones that we just talked about with the stainless steel applications. There's also aluminum grating, there's bronze grating. Then there's kind of a hybrid product, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but there's carpet grills systems where you get kind of a hybrid between the aesthetic of the stainless steel, but also the functionality, the cleaning functionality of the inserts. So that's an interesting product as well. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Then you have your rollout mat systems. The rollout mats, incredibly functional. One, they're cost effective. Two, they're simple to install. Three, they're easy to clean and maintain. So the carpet rollout mats, you have vinyl rollout mats, you have heavy duty rollout treads, which we'll talk about as well. So a variety of applications there. And then you have your entrance grid systems. So you have, and this is based on the type of insert that's in there, but carpet entrance grids and vinyl entrance grids as well, based on the insert. Some other insert options, you can do aluminum abrasive inserts, you could do recycled rubber inserts. There's plenty of other applications for insert options as well. You just got to touch base with your manufacturer and understand what those options are that they're able to source and provide. Okay, so entrance system advantages. Plenty of advantages with entrance mat systems other than just tiling out the floor. This helps to minimize the dirt and the mud and the snow based on the environment that you're living in or where the application is from getting into the commercial spaces. Okay, that's really important, for just general aesthetics of the space, maintaining the safety of the patrons that are coming in. As it mentions here, increased traction safety is a huge win when using these systems and incorporating them into your designs. This is available for new construction and for renovation. So it's pretty simple to recess a flooring or to apply a rollout mat over a tiled floor area or a carpeted floor area. We can get into that as well later on. And then they're certainly designed for beauty and for effectiveness. All right, the goal here with any of these systems is to provide aesthetic beauty for sure, but also functionality. So we'll talk about those two elements a lot in tandem together today. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the different material types, product types. So this stainless steel grating, we kind of talked about stainless steel as a material type earlier, but stainless steel grating as a product type. There's plenty of applications and projects where you can use the stainless steel material. There's several manufacturers in the marketplace that produce very similar grill material. Just depends on who the manufacturer is and what their fabrication capabilities are that allow you to use these in different applications. So some different applications are air grills, the entrance grills and entrance areas that we've talked about, the example shown here in revolving doors. You have swimming pools, and you have tree grates for architectural applications in the exterior of a building. And then you have trench drain grills as well in many different applications, okay? Some additional applications and projects, these can also be used in ceiling and wall applications as well, and vertical applications. They can also be used, as we mentioned, in the entrance grills, but also as light diffusers as well. So the stainless steel matting material, grating material, certainly it's great for the application of entrance systems. That's the application that we're talking about today. But just don't limit that. It can tie in with other design elements within the space as well. Here's a couple section views of stainless steel grating. In this case, there still needs to be 1 inch of bearing for this material. Okay, well, it's important to think about NAM standards for grating and bearing and application. If there's ever a pit design, which is shown in this lower section view, in the presentation here, you're going to want at least a minimum of 1 inch of bearing in any one of those applications. The different products, based on who the manufacturer are, they're going to have different ranges of span. So that's important to understand as well as you're designing out the pit application for drainage or for plumbing or for anything else that's going underneath the grating in an entranceway. I've seen heating, I've seen plumbing, I've seen electric, I've seen lighting. With any one of those applications, it's important to just think about what the span is and the design of that frame structure underneath the material to best support it, right? We're still going to follow NAM standards for deflection and span and bearing in those cases. All right. The frame systems can be designed for a variety of things, as I talked about, for the accessibility for plumb drains, for evaporation drainage pits. That's a pretty common application. And then you can include those heating elements in the vestibule areas as well. That's pretty common. So the stainless steel can also be installed in a variety of ways as well. Like what's shown here in these applications, they can be installed in level bed applications. Simple installation, just got to level out the entranceway area. And then the application can be installed in a level bed format. And then as we just talked about, you can install it in a drainage pit area as well. So stainless steel comes in a few different types of alloys. Some of the common types of alloys within the industry are just the 304 and 316 stainless steel. You get a little bit different corrosion resistance with the 316 stainless steel. If you're getting into applications where it's trench covers or elements around a pool or saltwater pool or things like that, different design elements where you'd be wanted to use stainless steel grating in those applications. It looks great, super functional, but just be thinking about the caustic chemicals that come with a chemically treated pool or saltwater pool as well. We would typically push our customers towards 316 stainless steel just to give it a little bit more corrosion resistance. The slot openings in the surface wires, that can also be customized as well. You can, the way that these are manufactured, it's manufactured in a couple different ways, but you can control the manufacturing equipment of the baseline raw panels to have different spacings. Why that's important is because you get to have different open air percentages depending on the application. The bearing bars, again, the bearing bars are going to hold the weight within an entrance system, but the surface spacing allows you to control your design element. You can control the size of the surface wire as well as the spacing between it. So you can tailor your design to the application that you want. If you want a narrower spacing, you want it to be a real tight, clean look, that's perfect. If you want a bigger surface wire, quarter-inch surface wire with quarter-inch spacing, you can also tailor to that as well. Just got to communicate what your needs are with the manufacturer, and they can help make that happen. So typically, again, the max span for some of these products, especially when you get into the 1/8 bars, 1 inch deep, in a lot of applications, that's a pretty common depth is the 1 1/8 deep grating. That's pretty common across all the manufacturers as well. But you're looking at a span of about 36 inches. Okay, that's just important to remember. With the 36-inch span, you're going to get 300 pounds you get 1,000 pounds of rolling load, and then full uniform load. That changes as well based on the application as well. You can see the different capabilities within the charts here. Okay. We're going to jump right into the next product, which is aluminum grating. Okay, this is very similar in application. It gives you a little bit different aesthetic feel. It gives you a little bit different look, but still a lot of functionality. It can be more cost effective depending on what you're doing with it as well. So different applications. You can see in this example, it's represented as a light diffuser, but these can be air grills, ceiling and wall applications, the entrance grills as we're talking about today, certainly light diffusers as what's represented here, and then trench drain grills as well. So here's another couple section views. Similar to the stainless steel, there does need to be 1 inch of bearing. That's just recommended again by NAM standards. There's the opportunity to install this in both level bed and pit applications again. Really simple to install these and level off the area. Any installer that you guys are using or the general contractor is using, it's pretty simple installation of these systems. So these can also be manufactured with visual or hidden lockdowns. It just depends on the style of lockdown that you want as well, and the aesthetic appearance that you want on the surface. Okay, so typical extrusions in the marketplace are 6061 T5 alloy or 6063 T6 alloy. So these can be anodized. Certainly they can be powder coated. You can essentially pick your color of whatever application you want to meet the design element of the space. One thing to note, if you're going to color an entranceway system, whether it's powder coated or whether it's anodized, it is going to wear over time. So that's just one thing to just be aware of. I do like to talk about that because it's not something that's thought about in the initial design element. It's great. You get this very specific color. But if you need something that's going to last, just understand that it will fade over time just based on the wear of the traffic walking over the material. All right. This material also has the rolling load capabilities of 1,000-pound uniform load. Okay, it's going to depend a little bit on the product and the application that you pick. But some of the examples in the marketplace that are out there, they're capable of handling 1,000-pound uniform load and rolling load. So it just depends on what the needs are for the space, and you can specify everything that's needed. Okay. Again, this is getting into different alloys, but I wanted to highlight the bronze grating in this presentation. The bronze grating is also incredibly versatile. It can be used in air grills and entrance grills, vertical applications as well, depending on how you want to use it. But again, this is another product that could have a chemically patinaed finish to a variety of shades of color. There's some really great examples that are out there in the marketplace. I'd be happy to share those as well following the presentation if you have any interest in seeing that. And we can talk about some of the process behind how that chemical patina happens. There are applications where there's full dip, and then also just surface treatment applications with a lacquer coating underneath this grill material. So the lacquer coating stays constant, and then you're able to simply maintain with chemical patina and refreshing that top surface. So it maintains the color and the longevity of color matching throughout the life of the product and application. So again here, this is another example. This can be installed in pit and level bed applications as well. We're still talking about the same things with NAM standards with having 1 inch of bearing. All right, but this application that's shown here represents the bearing bars with a punched hole, and you have threaded rods that run through this, and then it's mechanically fastened with spacers between the different bearing bars. This can be again applied in a variety of applications as well, including the air grills. They're really popular in that application, as well as the entrance systems. So this particular application, some additional technical information. Again, I had mentioned the C385 alloy. C3000 is also another alloy that's just available. It just depends on who the manufacturer is and what you're looking for. It doesn't really change anything depending on the alloy that you're using, but C385 is the architectural bronze that most are using in their applications. This particular product example that we talked about today was 3/16 in depth, and there's a 1/4 inch slot opening on the center of the bearing bars. And then there's spacers in between the bars as well, that are 1/4 inch. So it just provides a nice consistent aesthetic across the material. This can handle a 300-pound uniform load, handle a 350-pound rolling load. This particular product application, you're looking at, you're probably going to want a span of 24 inches in this particular product application. If it's in a pit application, this product, you can use bronze angle frame just to, frame out or picture frame the aesthetic of the area, or you can use 316 stainless steel. It's a little less reactive with the bronze material in these applications. So let's go through a quick review. And I think the best way to do this would just be to have you type your responses or into these questions into the chat, so that we can review those quickly. But just the first question being, what are the benefits of the following materials? That's stainless steel, aluminum, and bronze. What are some of the benefits that we talked about for these product applications? Ayla, I might need your help here to see the chat.
I feel like it may actually be better for people to drop it in the Q&A. I'm not
Okay.
sure if people can put anything in the chat. I think we can only send chats to them.
Okay. Well, we can save all the chats to them. Just the other question to consider while we're reviewing here is just what are the typical applications for the following products as well? Okay, so you have the stainless steel grating, you've got the aluminum grating, and you've got the bronze grating. Just different applications there. What are the typical applications that you're seeing in either your designs or in what we reviewed today? Okay. So stainless steel, just in quick review, we'll jump into the next applications as well. This is just another product, and it's one that we highlighted in the beginning. It's kind of that hybrid carpet grill. This is, I would say it's an increasingly popular product only because of the aesthetic and the functionality. So carpet grills are just unique. They're definitely on the higher end only because you're getting that stainless steel aesthetic, as well as the functionality of the carpet inserts. Okay, these applications and products, you can use them in revolving door systems. You can use them in entrance grills. this is not entirely accurate in that it's entrance grills with level bed application only. You can use them in pit applications as well. And the revolving door systems, they look great there. Just depends. I would just err on the side of caution depending on the revolving door system that you're using. You just want to be aware of that and it rubbing on the insert material. So here's a couple section views of applications. There's a couple different depths that are going to be highlighted here, a 3/8 inch depth and a 5/8 inch depth. Again, what they're showing here is level bed application, but these products just have a really high aesthetic value, and they have effective cleaning. You're able to clean them. They are really effective in cleaning pedestrian shoes as they're coming in the transition from the exterior to the interior of the building. Again, there's a variety of depths that you can order this material in, similar to the stainless steel grating. There's typical applications of 1.125", 5/8, and 3/8 of an inch. You can get N-Tech material is what they call this carpet grill. You can get that in a variety of depths as well. Okay, some technical information. Again, these products can be selected from the same variety of stainless steel alloy, which is 304, 316 stainless steel. I know that this technical information calls out 304 only, but you can get it, and it just depends on the manufacturer that you're working with. Okay, these are typically, they're going to have 1/8 inch slot openings, but again, that slot opening can be custom tailored to your application or design needs as well. The heavier duty material, the 1.125" depth, that's also just like the stainless steel grating, that's also going to carry 1,000-pound rolling load, and some of the other benefits. But you do get the added benefit here. With the insert, you get the added benefits of the cleaning and the traction safety application, right? So you can have abrasive aluminum inserts or abrasive inserts. You can have carpet inserts. You can have vinyl inserts. You can have recycled rubber. If you can dream it, a manufacturer can probably make it. So it just depends on your communication within the spec, and then also your communication directly to the manufacturer. Let's head into rollout mats and entrance grids. Another couple great products that are available in the marketplace. So the couple product types that are represented here are rollout carpet mats or rollout vinyl mats, and then you have entrance grid systems as well. So again, these products have a pretty high aesthetic value and are really versatile in their application. The carpet grid and vinyl entrance systems, the grid systems are a little bit deeper than rollout mats. So you get that functionality as well, just depending on the application. So another option, which is highlighted here, is just heavy duty rollout treads. So just the design element of that extrusion allows it to handle 1,000-pound rolling load. So that's just something to be aware of also. So understanding what the needs are of the space. Maybe it's an area that's going to require, heavier duty carts rolling over that particular area, and it can handle 1,000-pound rolling load. So just to be aware of that. Here's a couple section views for rollout mats in particular. There's a couple different applications represented here. There's a level bed application, it being an aluminum extrusion, it being very thin, it needs to be installed in a level bed application. This can be installed with or without a frame. It can also be surface mounted, as you see there in the lower section view. And several manufacturers, they provide ramps to ramp up to this material as well. So just remember, this material doesn't span, but it's well suited for pit applications or installed directly on the surface, and those transitional elements can be applied there. So then entrance grids, and this represents how these are slightly different. The entrance grid is usually a little bit more robust in the extrusion, a little bit taller in application. So if you have a deeper pit, or you actually do have a pit application, which is represented here with this element, you're able to see that this can start to span, and you can have it in a pit application. Again, you're gonna want at least an inch of bearing on this type of material. And then you're also gonna want to make sure that you're not extending beyond a 2 foot span um, outside of the frame structure below the grid. So just some additional technical information regarding the rollout mats and the entrance grids. The rollout mats and entrance grids and the heavy duty rollout treads, they have different loading capabilities. So that's important to pay attention to when you're designing or specifying an area, is what are those capabilities in each one of those areas. Each of these has a uniform load of 300 pounds per square foot. However, the difference is in that rolling load capability in the tread, the heavy duty rollout treads, which is available from several different manufacturers that can handle 1,000 pound rolling load. So just to be aware of that. So each of the products is definitely compatible with a variety of inserts as well. As we talked about previously, you can have any insert you can think of essentially. It just depends on who the manufacturer is. The other unique thing about carpet inserts, that's the popular insert. Just remember that the carpet inserts, you can have logos put on them. Depending on who the manufacturer is, you can have your logo or the logo design for whatever the application is, schools, hospitals, government buildings. Pretty popular to have the logo on the mat in the entranceway. So there's a couple different hinge options in the rollout mat as well. One last thing I want to highlight is there's aluminum hinges and vinyl hinges. So something I want to talk about just between those two options is the fact that aluminum hinges, yes, it's aluminum, it's an extrusion, it's going to be, super durable, but it does have a tendency to bind in the rollout process. So that's something that you'll just want to be aware of from a functionality standpoint, from a cleaning standpoint for an area. The aluminum hinge can bind a little bit in application. Just something to be aware of. It's certainly not a deal breaker. It changes a little bit the aesthetic because you're going to be able to see a little bit of that hinge material between each one of the extrusions, but just it totally depends on the design, but just wanted to clarify that point of functionality. So there's other applications as well. Let's explore those real quickly. There's the air grills. The grating systems are definitely really popular in air grill functions. Again, you have the ability to use stainless steel, bronze, aluminum in any one of these applications, but they tie really, really well along curtain walls as what's shown here. So light diffusers, again, this just softens the direct light from above that's emitted from light sources. Again, you can get grating in a variety of styles, a variety of applications. This again can be, aluminum material or stainless steel material. Just depends on what your needs are for that design element. Wall applications, here's a great representation of vertical grating. Just for an architectural aesthetic, it looks great in this application. But this is what can tie into other design elements as well, right? So you can have the stainless steel grating in an entranceway, but also stainless steel grating incorporated into the air grills, and then stainless steel grating implemented into, maybe it's the facade or front of a welcome desk, or maybe it's in this application along like a window wall or shelf. So there's fountain grating as well, another popular application here. In this particular application, you can see that these surface wires are curved linear in their manufacturing. This is something that several manufacturers can supply as well. Again, as we talked about a little bit earlier, when you're talking about the different types of alloys, it's important to remember, a lot of these pools, they're going to have some sort of chemical involved in just maintaining the water within a space. So if you're going to start to get into chemical applications, you're probably going to want to lean towards the 316 stainless steel. when specifying these types of materials in these spaces, but they look amazing. There's other types of traction safety products that can be applied to the surface. In this application, it's a very public space. You know, there needs to be a little bit of grit. You can apply a sandblasted finish to the surface of this. You can apply a thermal metal spray, which we'll talk about in a second. And there's a couple manufacturers that have developed different grades of thermal metal spray, so that even if you're walking on this type of material with bare feet in a public space, or thinking of a child walking over this in a public space in a splash park, they're not going to scuff up the bottom of their feet, but they're going to have enough grip to be able to walk around. So quick review as well. Just jumping into these questions, a couple questions to think about, and we can get into them again at the Q&A at the end. But what are the advantages of an entrance mat system? Okay, just be thinking about what are those advantages of having a metal entrance mat system as opposed to tiling out the floor or having a rug down, or you know, you're kind of leaning towards allowing the end user to have to maintain a contract for replacing or cleaning the rugs that are just put down in those systems. This allows you to have an entrance system that's going to last, you know, 10, 15 years easily, if not more. I've seen applications installed that still look good after 20, 25 years. Then be thinking about what products can be used in drainage pit applications. I think that that's important to understand, is what products can be installed and what applications can be installed in level bed applications versus drainage pit. Again, it depends on the needs of the entrance system. It depends on the needs of what's going to be in that vestibule area or entrance area. You know, sometimes there's electric that have, you know, a podium for handicap access. You know, those are all elements that need to be considered. But just be thinking about what elements and what type of material needs to go into those applications. And then the last question here is, how are the rails in a rollout mat system connected? Okay, we talked about it really briefly, where you have different options for connections between the rails or extrusions in a rollout mat system. But just be thinking about those and how those can be tailored to your design needs and functionality needs as well. Okay, let's jump into a couple different case studies. I do want to share these with you. One example is Newark Airport. We've got a quick webinar poll here. Hold on one second. Hold on. I'm going to go back to sharing. Let's go back to sharing. Sorry about that. Hopefully you can see my screen still okay. So with this particular application, you can still see that this was the stainless steel grating that was input into the Newark Airport. Let me drag this over. Let me stop sharing 1 second. Technical difficulty here. Okay. Can everybody see this okay?
I can see it.
Okay. So with this Newark Airport, there was a lot of stainless steel entrance grills that were put into the new terminal development and restoration there. A total of 53 areas for this redevelopment over several terminals. This was shipped between 2020 and 2022. Just a great application of the stainless steel entrance grill systems. Looks great in collaboration with the design. So if you get a chance and you're traveling through the Newark Airport, it's a good opportunity to see some of those stainless steel grills in action. Another application is stainless steel grills are used in a majority of the New York City public school systems. Okay, and it's not just New York City public schools. There's other major school systems across the country as well. But again, this Gensler architect firm, they're the group that specified stainless steel grills to be used in these applications in new building development as well as restorative development. And they always look great. The stainless steel systems always look great in these applications. These have been shipping Since 2007, I believe, is when Gensler originally specified stainless steel grating systems to be used in new building applications or refurbished building applications in New York City. Then you have the Constitution Center in Washington, D.C. This one shipped in 2009. There's stainless steel entrance mat systems and air grills in this building. Another great example. Um, we have the Zulik building, which is over in the Philippines. Um, there's a lot of applications. If you're doing any international design, there's plenty of opportunity for, the stainless steel entrance systems to be installed in international opportunities as well. Again, in buildings like this, you're thinking about air grills, you're thinking about fire suppression system, water management, you're thinking about the entrance systems into different areas. Plenty of applications there. So I want to jump real quickly into traction safety. Traction safety is a critical piece of any entrance system. It should be something that you're thinking about as you're designing these elements. Thermal metal spray is one particular application that's available in the marketplace. Okay, we talked a little bit about the different insert options. Those are going to provide a little bit of application of traction safety elements into them, just due to the nature of their inserts. You're hitting carpet, you're hitting rubber, you're hitting abrasive aluminum inserts, whatever the insert application is. Thermal metal spray is across the entire surface. I believe it can be installed in CNC patterns as well, installed in a logo pattern. But essentially, this dramatically increases the coefficient of friction in a space. It's a great application. It bonds really, really well to the surface metal. This particular application, this does not wear. You're looking at 15, 20 years plus of use and life, and it's going to maintain the same grit. It's not going to wear down over time just because of how hard the application is. And this can be applied basically to any entrance system to enhance the traction safety in these areas. So just be thinking about that. I do have a quick video. Okay, some additional information. That was just a representation, sorry, quick video for the thermal metal spray. It's robotically applied, so you get a really uniform surface. Just really functional, looks great, and I would definitely recommend that. That can be applied to stainless steel, it can be applied to the aluminum products. So just keep that open as an opportunity there. So if you're looking for tread inserts and replacements, quick demonstration here, just going to the website. Within any manufacturer, you can go to their website and you can probably find tread inserts and replacements and maintenance installation. It just depends on what's available per the manufacturer, but they should have maintenance and installation instructions available on their website. You can see here, you can go and you can find installation information at the Katie website. Let's move on. In speccing these particular products, again, each manufacturer is going to be unique, right? They're all going to have their spec information. But if you go to their website, typically within resources that they have, they're going to have 3-part specifications that you'll be able to use and incorporate those elements into your specifications for different products. Again, just wanted to show that these are options that are available out there in the marketplace. Okay, so quick summary. We talked about different product types, different material types, and we do have grates and grills. You've got stainless steel grating, you've got aluminum grating, you've got bronze grating, and then you have that hybrid carpet grill, which we talked about, right? Then you have your rollout mat systems. You have your carpet rollout mats, your vinyl rollout mats, heavy duty rollout treads. just different applications there. One, you can have different applications of hinges between aluminum extrusions and vinyl extrusions. Just remember the differences there. And then also remember that the heavy duty tread is a great example for being able to carry a heavier rolling load. So just depending on what your needs are for that space. And then the entrance grid systems, remember, is a little bit deeper usually, and you do have the opportunity to span with entrance grid systems up to 2 feet in recommended length. Okay, so just quick summary. Metal grading systems, metal grading entrance systems like the grates, the grills, the rollout mats, and the entrance treads, which we talked about today, they just provide effective solutions for safety, access, environmental requirements, and aesthetics in diverse applications. If you do have questions, we will go through a quick Q&A here. You can reach out to anybody at the KD team or the Ohio Gradings team. We'd be happy to answer questions for you and get you in the right direction.
Awesome. Thank you, Craig.
Absolutely.
That was great. If you'd like, how would you like to start? Should we go over those? Like we did get some responses to some of the questions,
Okay.
those review questions that you had in the slide. So we can go over those first and kind of share the answers to those, or I can read questions, other specific questions that people had. Which one would you prefer?
I would say just fire away. If you want to jump into the Q&A portion, we can just jump right into that.
Sounds good. All right, so here we go. Let's start. Okay. Do you have a wall section showing the vertical grating installed?
I can get you a wall section showing the vertical grading installed. Yep, that's not a problem. If you are reaching out to Acelab at the end of this presentation, be able to get you a section view. You know, it's limited to my own understanding and my applications from my business. But many manufacturers, they're going to be able to provide that information as well. So just if you have an application or you have a manufacturer in mind, don't hesitate to reach out to them. They should be able to get you information on that.
All right, next we have, if we're using the grating vertically for venting as shown on a slide, do you have percent opening info such as NFVA that the mechanical engineer will need to confirm the CFM and other ventilation requirements?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we do have CFM and open air information, similar to water management as well. We've got gallons per minute flow through grading systems as well. All of that would be available. Not sure that it's always available between the different manufacturers on websites, but you can definitely reach out to engineering teams within those manufacturing companies. They would be happy to support you. Some of the entrance systems, the stainless steel entrance systems within the company that I'm working with, for example, they've got 65% open air, right? So you can easily take those systems. One, you can tailor the surface wire or the spacing between the surface wires to increase the open air capacity as well. So it depends on what the design need is for that flow. And the grading system can be tailored to meet the needs of the design element.
Perfect, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, is the friction product a separate product like Slipknot or similar?
Yeah, the one that was shown today was another product called OnGrip, very similar to Slipknot. It's a very similar application. The important part to remember there is it's a thermal metal spray application. That thermal metal spray, you're taking wire, they grind it up really fine, and they're blasting it with heat and essentially, welding it to the surface of the material. It creates a super hard surface, super durable surface. It's going to last a long time, as I talked about. We've seen applications lasting up to 15 years. Slipknot and OnGrip, they both have a variety of grades as well. So you can get more aggressive grit or lighter grit. There's different options there as well. So again, just depending on what the needs are for the application, just be thinking about that and just know that your options aren't limited to just one grade of application. You can get a variety of grades there.
Great, think that answers the question well. Thank you. And it looks like all that I have left, unless there's any other questions that want to come in last minute, is there is someone that's hoping that they could get a copy of the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, we've got a PDF copy of this that we can share. If you're reaching out through Acelab, I know there's an opportunity to respond to this particular webinar, and they can put you in touch with me and I can get you back that presentation.
That works, yeah. That definitely works. And then we'll have the recording on our website within a couple of days as well. So
Yep.
everyone's welcome to reference that as well and share it with your colleagues if you'd like. But it looks like that is all of our questions for today.
All right.
Is there anything else you wanted to mention, Craig, before we end
No,
the
I just
webinar?
want to say thank you to Kayla and thank you to Ace Labs for allowing me to be able to present here. It's a summary of a lot of information that's out in the marketplace regarding these systems. I'd be happy to answer a lot more questions if you have them. Certainly, every project is unique. In at Katie Industries, it's a very customized fabrication process. So if you have any specific design elements, we can manufacture to anything radially, whatever the application is, we'll figure out a solution for you. So,
Amazing. Well, thank you again, Craig. I think it was a really great presentation, and thank you everyone for joining us today.
yeah, thanks everybody. Take care.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye.